Starting in just a few more minutes, folks, and we will see the grand finale of Ys 1 and 2 for the TurboGrafx 16 as we battle our way through the final boss and save the world in yet another JRPG adventure. There it is. All right, we're just waiting for Jackazam to get set up with today's... to get set up, to sign into the race, and we'll be ready to kick things off. And everybody has readied up. Our race will begin in a few more seconds. So here we are at approaching the very end of East 2. In our previous goal, our players battled against the evil wizard here in the Goddess Palace. They are approaching the final battle. They're trying to collect the magic that they're going to need to defeat the evil villain. But first, the Goddesses of East have instructed them to climb the belfry here. Looks like Nighty wants to grind a little bit more here. Whereas our other players are going to march straight up into the belfry. So contrary to the previous weeks, today's goal is actually going to be fairly straightforward. The players have explored virtually all of the area now. All that they have left is a couple of small areas to poke around in, including the belfry. And most of these are pretty straightforward. We can see as Jackazam, Puffer King, and someone make their march straight up here, they find that there is not a whole lot to do in this belfry. There are no monsters to fight. Adol is trying desperately to reach the top floor before the 5th bell rings. When the 5th bell rings, the young girl that we saw at the base of the belfry, she will die. And it's not looking too good for Adol. He's already on the 3rd bell ringing. Meanwhile, Nighty has died on the 3rd bell. Nighty has decided that he's going to grind a few levels here. Someone is the first to make it to the top of the belfry, where we're confronted with our villain here, the evil wizard Darm. Wishes to rule the world like many a JRPG villain has wanted. And he has a plan that involves killing this girl by ringing the bells, because apparently that's the more efficient way to do things. And this will unlock some evil curse of a magical artifact, a black pearl that will give evil power to the villains. We get to hear all of this exciting dialogue when Nighty decides to join us at the top of the belfry. Correct. Dallas is this wizard. Darm is the other evil wizard. We've got many evil wizards we've got to keep track in here. Dallas, Darm, in fact. The East series is filled with many evil wizards. So unfortunately, the bells have rung. Adol was unable to stop the death of this young girl here, and so our heroes are going to march on back down, and of course, being good treasure hunters that they are, they're going to remember that there was a treasure box that they saw on their way there. They're going to stop by and pick that up, because of course they're going to need all this treasure if they're going to save the world. And as we run down the belfry, we see these fantastic little parallax scrolling background. The TurboGrafx has a kind of an unusual scrolling where we see the mountains here scrolling really rapidly. Someone takes a look at this little girl, but unfortunately she has died. So as our heroes climb up as our heroes descend the belfry, Nighty is going to climb on his way up.
Get out of here now, or you will perish like the others.
Nighty receives his warning not to climb the tower, and he responds by just hucking a fireball at this girl. How dare she tell him where he can and can't go. Meanwhile, our other players, a couple of them seem to be a little bit fixated here on Maria's body. There's nothing that they can do for her here. Their next destination is they want to head back to the Goddess Palace and get a little bit of guidance on where they should be going next. This lovely belfry music going on here on Nighty's stream.
Such a brave warrior you are, Edol. I am truly impressed that you've made it to this lofty point. I commend your efforts. However, you'll be distressed to hear that I've already rung the death bell 4 times. If I ring it once more, the girl Maria will die. Let me explain the meaning of this ancient ritual. The ancestral priests of this land lived over 700 years ago, but their descendants still reside in East today. The 5 bells are the ceremonial warning. Before I shatter their souls and drain the last of their life's blood. I do love this. Now please, enjoy the sweet sound of the bell's last ring.
Question in the chat, who is ahead overall so far? At this point in the game, it's whoever has the most experience points is going to be our leader. So I'm going to go with Puffer King right now is to a considerable lead, given that he has nearly 90,000 experience points, whereas our other players, Jackazam and someone, are pretty far behind in that they are fairly low on experience. They need to gain quite a few levels to finish up this goal. And then Nighty is in the middle here on a respectable 80,000 experience points. He's further ahead than the others, but he's still got a long way to go. Our players are going to need to grind pretty close to level cap, if not to the level cap, in order to finish the game. Now our players may not realize it, but they have reached the best grind point in the game. This area where Jackazam is now, just outside of the Goddess Palace. These are the strongest enemies in the game. They are the enemies that give the most experience points. So these are the enemies that you want to be fighting to gain those last few levels. So the players were instructed to get the blue orb. Now we see them going down into the sewers to explore. Where they really want to be is they want to be using their teleport spell to head back to town. If they remember 2 goals ago, they may recall that there was a blue orb that they collected in the fire zone, and they gave it to the little boy. And that if they go talk to the little boy who is residing in town, he will give them a little bit of guidance. Players don't have to remember a whole lot from the previous goals. They will need to go back to town, and hopefully if they just talk to the NPCs, they will learn where they need to go next. The only other thing that could be very important to our players is remembering that they did find a young man in the sewers who is petrified. Hopefully they remember where he is. He is, in fact, absolutely mandatory to finish the game, as you need to rescue him to get 2 of the 3 pieces of Claria equipment that are required to defeat the final boss. And also could make their grinding the level cap a little bit easier. Doing a little bit of grinding here. These monsters are pretty powerful. He does need to be careful. They also have a bad habit of deflecting your magic spells. But they are vulnerable to magic. I think all of our players may be under the impression that they've missed something here in the dungeon. Which is unfortunate because they have not in fact missed anything. I see someone making a tour of the belfry just in case. smart play here by someone. He takes a search up. He takes a search up the belfry, and just to be careful, he saves his game at the bottom and loads his game so he doesn't have to walk all the way up to the top. A nice minor time save there. Yeah, it's possible Jackazam is looking for Keith. In fact, I think that's where Jackazam's going now. And Keith is like, I ain't got nothing for you. Looks like Jackazam's got the right idea, looking for little boy Tarp to figure out where he has gone. Thankfully, Tarp is in Ramia Village, just waiting for somebody to come and talk to him. This is our life now. Grinding enemies. Jackazam making a critical error, chatting with this old man who just won't fly. There we go, Jackazam getting a very important hint here that the meeting finished and the wizard had something important in the meeting. So with that, hopefully Jackazam has the clues that she needs to realize that destination is once again the northern meeting room. Nighty making good use of his time here, grinding up a couple of levels on these enemies. recall in the last stream, Puffer King decided that he was going to make good use of his time by grinding up a couple of levels and made that previous boss pretty trivial. That also is an extra benefit to him because his level is so high. The experience points he gets for killing the next boss are going to be put against a more difficult to achieve level than the other players. So that will save him even more time as he tries to grind up probably to the level cap. We'll see how it goes, but I suspect we'll see a lot of our players choose to just grind all the way up to level 62 because the final boss is very difficult. Not sure why Jakazam is in the sewers here. Alright, Jakazam is leaving the sewers. It looks like Puffer King and someone both are on the hunt now back in civilization. Oh, I think Puffer King might be heading back to the prison. See, Puffer King here is reading the message that he was told about 2 goals ago, written on the wall in the prison. So he's gotten an interesting little piece of lore here that apparently the prisoner was given some guidance to travel to the Solomon Shrine. Alright, Nighty also got his clue. We'll see if Nighty picks up on his next destination. Seems to be moving in the right direction. This is one of the challenges, of course, of playing a game in a segmented race. You have a whole week between segments. It's really easy to forget things that in casual play you might be more inclined to remember. Looks like Nighty is making a beeline to his destination. Going to pick up a blue orb here, and he'll be able to move on to his next plot trigger. There it is for the second time, picking up this blue orb. like someone's found a monster that he likes to fight with a nice 150 experience points. It's going to tip him over to the next experience level. Alright, so it looks like Nighty and Jackazam are neck and neck as far as plot triggers go. Their next destination is going to be to climb up the belfry once again so that they can use the sleeping statue to wake up the petrified folks. Jackazam's magic just is not cutting the mustard here against these evil wizards. Jackazam and Nighty discovering a plot surprise. Maria's body has vanished. Where could it have gone? So it looks like someone is on the right path here, as chatting with Keith the demon, but unfortunately Keith is not able to help him. He does need to find a very different demon in the form of a little boy. Of course, all children are demons, so that is the puzzle here is realizing that children are a form of demon, and once you understand that, the puzzle is very easy to solve. Go. Jackazam and Nighty have successfully depetrified all of the villagers, and they get a nice little boost in experience points on top of that. Nighty is looking at loading here. I think what Nighty might be thinking is that he just got a bunch of experience points for that. I think maybe in his mind he's saying, I'd much rather gain a level and then get those experience points, which is very smart thinking on his part. Especially that high level grinding, that's going to be really slow, so this is going to wind up saving him a lot of time in the long run. So very clever heads up play there by Nighty. Meanwhile, Jackazam has really been putting off grinding levels. Jackazam is really pretty low experience right now. We saw last week Jackazam decided to defeat the wizard boss at a pretty low level, which was exciting to see, but unfortunately that is going to put her in a pretty poor position this week, because you really want to be just stacking up all that experience points. Oh, looks like we might have lost Nighty for a bit. So we've lost Nighty for a bit. Hopefully he will be rejoining us shortly. Someone in Puffer King still not certain where they're supposed to go for this blue orb. Although they are in a chat right now with Jackazam, so they may get a hint from that. So while our players continue to search to figure out where to head next, just a reminder too, this is the final segment of our East segmented blind race. We will be beating the game today, so that will be it for East 1 and 2 on this channel. Of course, we'll be back for more exciting races, including at the end of today's broadcast, we're going to play another game. We're going to play a short NES game, Worm, for the Nintendo Entertainment System, and that will be a brief single segment race. That game only takes about an hour to complete, so we're just going to play through the whole thing tonight. So just in case you're thinking, oh man, you know, we're so close to the end, I don't need to see that. No, you want to hang out to the end of today's broadcast, because we are going to have one more race today. We're going to play through Worm on the NES. An exciting game that defies classification. It's got some shmup, it's got some platforming segments, it's got some first-person shooter, it's got some role-playing to it. It's a little bit of everything, so make sure you hang out so you can see as our players will play Worm and try to descend to the center of the earth and discover why everything is getting all screwed up. Because that's pretty much what you do in video games. You figure out why everything's messed up, and then you fix it by stabbing Space God. All right, Puffer King back in town talking to NPCs. Maybe he's figured out what he needs to do. Yeah, we'll see. I feel pretty confident it's not that difficult of a game. It's got lots of very generous checkpoints, such that you never have to repeat anything after your first attempt. But we'll see. We'll see how everything goes. So that will be at the end of today's broadcast in perhaps another hour and a half to 2 hours. We'll see how long it takes our players to finish up today's goal. Alright, so it looks like someone and Puffer King are very close now. Here we go. Puffer King gonna talk to little Tarf here. Tarf says, I lost my little orb. Puffer King has decided to go back to the lava zone? Oh, he's probably doesn't know who Deca is. Well, he's only got so many NPCs he can talk to here. Puffer King chooses poorly, and he's going to get a 3-hour conversation here with this old man who's going to speak as slowly as he possibly can to tell you about the legend of this pendant, this ancient magic pendant. But now the shrine is full of monsters because you didn't know that. You haven't been exploring it for the past 4 hours. Here we go, someone picking up the blue orb. With that, someone will be able to get the awakened dreaming statue. Uh-oh, Puffer King skipped that dialogue real quick, and his gamer sense says, wait, that's not what they said before. Now, I see some of our players have the time magic and some don't. The time magic is the 4th magic wand that you can find. It's behind a locked door here in the Solomon Shrine. And if you've got that, you can use it to stop enemies from moving. But it's not really that great of magic, so I don't think it's a big deal if some of the players, if some of the players miss it. I don't think there's anything that you need that. I don't think you need that for anything in the game. But perhaps we'll find out. We're going to go ahead and switch the audio back over to 90. We found some of our players were having some difficulty with the audio in this game. It turns out that the older versions of BizHawk struggle a little bit with the CD audio on the TurboGrafx 16 CD. By downloading a newer version of the BizHawk, like 90 has done, you will be able to enjoy that high-quality audio without any issues. But unfortunately, it seems some of our players didn't do that. So Jackazam remembered the petrified young man here in the sewers, and so has rescued him. Hopefully Jackazam remembers that that young man has a grandfather who is looking for him. Because we will need to report the rescue of that young man if we wish to get another critical piece of equipment. Where is Jackazam going? Jackazam's going to talk to the old man here in the ruins. Oh, Jackazam forgot where the silver necklace was used. So the paste bin does contain one hint. It reminds the players that they can use the gold pendant in the same place as the silver pendant was used. It can be a little bit confusing because you might think that this incredibly important looking room that someone's in is where you would go to use that pendant to descend, but in fact it is not. This room is just for talking to people. Grinding his way up yet another level here. These monsters are starting to dwindle in their value. Jakazam reports to the old man and gets the Claria armor. That's 2 of the 3 pieces of Claria equipment. Alright, looks like Puffer King has used the Dreaming Idol and has depetrified everybody. Jakazam went to the right place but used the wrong statue. I think Jakazam might be picking up that she's already been here. Someone picking up a gold pendant here. Did Jakazam not want to go through that door? No, it looks like Jakazam's just being absolutely certain that there's nothing else here. So with that, that pulls Nighty ahead in experience points, just a little bit ahead of Puffer King. And here we go, Jakazam finds yet another boss here. The evil wizard Dallas. And learns that magic is worthless against this wizard. We're right back to East 1 again. We're back to just running over the boss and stabbing him to pieces. Yeah, it's very unfortunate that this is a game that really punishes defeating bosses at low levels. In most games, you would hope that successfully doing that would be to the player's advantage, like getting them to a new grind point sooner, or giving them some kind of a reward that makes it worth their time. But unfortunately, Ys is a game where you are encouraged to absolutely abuse the system as aggressively as possible and defeat these bosses at the highest levels possible so that you can just annihilate them effortlessly. Alright, I think Jakazam may have taken a hint here that a few level ups are in order. Someone wandering in the sewers. Oh, here it is. Someone is looking for the petrified young man. Exactly what he needs to be doing. I do like the aggressive use of the word goons in this game. This was probably the highest density of the use of goons in any piece of media ever. Even the Goonies doesn't use the word goons this much. Looks like Jakazam has found a grind spot. And is going to do a little bit of level upping. No fireballs for Jakazam, though. Strange choice, given how powerful magic is in this game. Where is Puffer King going? So the Puffer King's also losing a lot of time not being on fast speed. But here we go. Alright, Puffer King is heading... Alright, I think he might be heading up to this sewer area. Perhaps he recalls that's where he saw the petrified young man. There it is, someone picking up the Claria armor. 2 pieces of the Claria set. Our players will need to find all 3 of them if they hope to defeat the evil wizard and save the world. Nighty is down in the sewers. Perhaps he is also looking for the petrified young man. But it was a cruel dead end, so Nighty has to turn around and search for another path. Jakazam once again on the hunt for a good grind spot. Here's Puffer King also going to pick up his Claria sword here. So he is making good progression. Notably, Puffer King is going to have the easiest time getting up to the max level, since I believe he's going to pick up a nice pot of experience for defeating the evil wizard Dulles, which would get him very close to the cap. Jakazam needs to be very cautious here, taking a lot of damage from these enemies. There's a temptation when you've got magic to simply stand still, and it's really important that you don't let enemies approach you while you're standing still, because Adol is completely defenseless in that state and will take damage very quickly if an enemy walks over you. Oh, and Jakazam dies. When did Jakazam save? Oh, it's been a long time since Jakazam saved the game. Oh, Jakazam lost a lot of grinding there. That's incredibly unfortunate. Jakazam's going to give it another shot on this boss, but really does need to just do a lot of grinding. It needs to save the game to keep that. Thankfully, this will be an error Jakazam will not repeat tonight. So it looks like someone has found the door to the boss room. Someone is a level higher than Jakazam, so the fight will be a little more in someone's favor. But not that much. Still hurts absolutely terribly. Jakazam might be searching for a good grind spot, but the place that Jakazam wants is the last place that they have been. Just head back to the Goddess Palace. Last destination on your warp list. See Nighty picking up the sword and shield as well. So all of our players have all of the equipment that they can get so far. They do have to defeat the evil wizard Dulles first before they can get the final piece of equipment. Alright, we see Jakazam is in the good grind spot. Needs to kill just a ton of enemies here, and that's all there is to it. It's like someone is going to make a couple of attempts on this boss. Not a bad strategy here. This is a strategy that can win but at what cost? By winning in this way, unfortunately, this is gonna rob someone of some good high-level experience. Jack-a-Sam pulling ahead of someone in experience. More levels Jack-a-Sam gains, the easier this fight will be. Alright, so it's Nighty's turn. We're going to see how this fight is going to be very different when Nighty fights. Nighty decides, on second thought, I'm just going to step out of here. So we can see a very different fight here. Nighty taking virtually no damage and this wizard getting dominated. There we go. That's how you want that fight to go. Nighty getting that mighty 5,000 experience points. I think it's running through his head if he wants to gain more levels or not. Maybe picking up this shield spell. Shield spell won't be of much value to him just yet, though.
Adolf, it's me, Tar. I have so much to tell you, but now is not the time. Quick, we must get back. Everyone is waiting for us.
So this is the final gauntlet here. The most challenging part of Ys 1 and 2. It's just a long sequence of NPCs talking to you. And you have to one by one get all of their dialogue.
You must be Adolf. I am Maria. He found me in the Belgium and he brought me here. He said that there were fragments of a shattered bracelet near my body. Maybe the bracelet was a substitute. Well, I'm sure the things that make the shatter me. I heard stories of the goddess's cast of stone by the demon's evil curse. We don't have a second to spare. Hurry!
And I said that Jack-a-Sam wouldn't make that mistake again, but that was a terrible lie. Jack-a-Sam forgot to save the game again, took yet another death, and lost 5,000 experience points. This is just too easy to lose all of this time you spend grinding.
At last we meet again. I am Decca from Ramia Village. Do you remember me? The goddesses must be back in there. What can we do about this battle? Hey, did you see something move? Over there in the corridor to your right. What was it? Could it have been a goon?
Meanwhile, Puffer here is still a little bit lost. Doesn't remember where he used his silver pendant in the previous goal.
The last time I saw you vanished before I knew what was happening. Luckily, I haven't run into any of those dreadful creatures since then. Could it be for the power of this thing? It was given to me by the two girls I met in the room. Here, take it with you. Maybe it can repel those demons from here to dismal loop.
Someone a little bit reckless with the save files here. Saving in places where monsters could spawn and just bite him on a load. Cross our fingers in hopes that someone just doesn't die. Oh no, there's the death. Okay, that was a safe spot. So Nighty has reached the last room, and he wants to barge on through this door.
The goddesses are in a hopeless situation. There is no way that you can defeat me now. A fight without the power of the goddesses doesn't scare me. 700 years ago, I almost had the whole country of Ys under my control. But those forsaken goddesses managed to lock me up. I have suffered 10,000 years of humiliation, and I will remember every minute of it when I revenge my anguish. Now, my time has finally come. The world of Ys will soon be mine, and I will show them all just how wicked we demons can be.
Yeah, his rhythm song points out in the chat.
You know well that I cannot let you do that. Ys is now back where it belongs. Don't you forget about me. I am the bandit, Goban.
We're back down on Earth, and this is the room that we saw in at the beginning of our second goal, way back 4 weeks ago. We're getting callbacks from all of our buddies from back on the Earth, and they're just loading our inventory up with all of these key items.
Adol, where have you been? It's me, Ludogema. I brought you the Shield of Claria. You must have this to fight off Darm. Use it wisely.
Here's where we discover that Adol's actually just extremely good at playing the harmonica. Just yet another skill that our little red-haired hero is talented at.
Oh, Adol, how I have longed to see you. Remember me? I am Fina. When we last met, I didn't reveal my true identity. But now I must tell you that I am one of the two goddesses of Ys. You have been superb in your conquest to suppress the demons, but they will revive themselves unless you put an end to their source of evil. Their power comes from the enormous black pearl in the rear room. If you can shatter the pearl, then they will lose their evil flame, and we will have a chance to defeat them forever. So please, use all your courage to destroy their evil energy.
Not sure what Puffer's doing here. Saved his game, and I think he's taking a little bit of a break here.
I owe you more than you can ever imagine.
I am Lair, the goddess of Ys. Through your courageous battle, you have defeated Dark Fact in Darm Tower. Dark Fact was the direct descendant of Priest Fact. He tried to use the magical power of Claria to release the demons, which have been sealed up for hundreds of years. He wanted to control the entire land, but greed has its limitations, and you caused the demise of that demon. When we sealed the demons in, we also buried the magical mineral Claria deep within the ground. Several hundreds of years have passed, and Claria has since been excavated as silver. You know the rest of the story. But now you must fight your final battle against Darm, the most sinister of all evils. I know that you are a most worthy warrior, and I want you to use my ring for this dangerous showdown. The ring can weaken the power of evil, and my blessing can give your sword the force of Ys. Courage to the end, dear Adolf.
So Puffer King has defeated the evil wizard Dulles pretty trivially. Gets a nice boost in experience points there, almost a 67,000 experience. Getting very close to that level cap at 99,999 experience points. So it looks like someone is taking another stab at Dulles here, whereas Jackazam has decided, you know what, I can grind more levels, I am going to grind more levels. I think Jackazam is making the right choice here. Here's Nighty against the final boss of the game.
I am pure evil. My followers and I were born from the dark magic of the Black Pearl. I am the living epitome of terror and destruction. You don't stand a chance against my forces of decimation. I shall crush and consume.
So, Nighty figuring out that magic is pretty worthless here on the final boss yet again. The moral of the story in Ys 2 is magic is godly until the game says no more magic for you. We see here Nighty is not doing so hot here against the boss. Darm here is doing a lot more damage to Nighty than Nighty is doing to him. And this is pretty much the whole fight. He's just going to shoot meteors, and you dodge them and try to stab him. So Nighty does want to make sure he's got all of the Claria equipment equipped. There we go. The Magicka shield, that's a good decision. Nothing else to use your magic points on. And then you have the Claria ring that you can equip. The goddess ring that you received from the goddesses right before this fight. If you have the goddess ring equipped, the meteors that he fires, they move at half speed. The alternative is to not equip that, and you can put something else on, like the all heal magic potion that we saw Puffer purchase, which he's going to be a little bit disappointed to realize is really not much value to him. That he would also probably benefit from turning the speed back to slow, since being able to dodge these meteors is really going to improve his survivability. That's it. He's out of magic, and it's back to weathering these with his hit points. I was unable to defeat the final boss at level 61. Browsing the internet, I see that it is possible. People have done it. You have to really be defensive. Yes, Nighty is the final boss. Nighty is also fighting the final boss. Here's Puffer King realizing where he is. He's in that important looking room that he found in the earlier in the game. Yes, Nighty is level 61. To reach level 62, you need 9,999 experience points. So... Reeser Alpha 5 is usually the final boss. I'm impressed. Especially because I beat Alpha 5 in Mystery Tournament. Interesting. Depends on your level. If you're below 90... So we see here, Jackazam, one level higher than someone in finding this boss. Very, very much easier than someone. A single level of experience is a big difference. This also means that Jackazam is going to get this 5,000 experience points and skip a more difficult level than someone did. And Nighty is struggling a little bit here, and so he is going to go ahead and he's going to grind out this last level. And I think Nighty is realizing something incredibly important here. These monsters are worth basically 1 experience point each. So why bother fighting something stronger if everything is only worth 1 experience point? So we see here, Nighty dipping down here into the basement. And that's it. Let's go ahead and kill these guys. 1 experience point each. Just finish up that last level. We're getting his little bit of a lore drop here. Yeah, I think this is absolutely the right decision for Nighty. Go ahead and grind up to level cap. There's a temptation to just throw yourself at the final boss and just plow through and finish it. But knowing that you can just hit these enemies and get your way up to level cap, that's probably the better decision. Is it really 2,500 monsters to kill to reach the level cap? That is actually 100% correct. Each of these monsters is worth 1 experience point. I think if Nighty fought the enemies outside the Goddess Palace, he could get 2 experience points for some of those monsters. But because they don't spawn as quickly as these monsters, it's just, you're not going to gain levels nearly as fast there. Puffer King realizes he's not going through that door until he talks to everyone. Not sure where someone's going. He wasn't able to get through the barrier, and he decided to head back to the Goddess Palace. Someone's struggling a little bit here, just picked up a ring. Maybe didn't notice that ring in his inventory? Or maybe he mistook the ring. Because you do have a Claria ring, which is different than your Goddess ring. Alright, Puffer King's going to give a shot at the final boss as well. And he's only 1,000 monsters away from level cap. There's the Goddess ring. Someone wasn't able to use that? Gotta use your ring, buddy. You gotta use it. So we see here, Puffer is fighting the final boss without the ring equipped. So you see these meteors are moving way faster. So Puffer picked up a full health restore item here. And he has been excitingly holding on to that until this final battle, only to realize that, holy crap, this is not helping. So see Nighty here, he's got the most efficient point here. The monsters are all spawning on top of each other in one giant mass. And so Nighty just walks over them, stabs them all, and gets 20 experience points each. It's almost like this monster is worth 20 experience points. He's so close. Only 300 experience points left to hit that cap. See, Puffer is back here at the Goddess Palace trying to grind out this last level. These wizards are worth only 1 experience point each, and these soldiers are worth 3 experience points each. So this is going to be slow going. In order to hit the level cap, he's going to have to kill 1,000 of these soldiers. Whereas we see Nighty here is getting about 15 experience points each. And that's it. Nighty has hit the level cap, level 62. So this is going to make his final battle a lot easier. Oh, looks like Puffer King has picked up on the same little trick here. The basement is going to be a much better grind spot than the Goddess Palace. So it looks like we're going to see Puffer grinding up to that max level 2. Looks like Jackazam is going to take a stab at the final boss here. But this is probably going to be a pretty brutal blowout. And someone is stumped here. It looks like someone went through the core, but was unable to find out how to get past the force field, which I believe is just walk up to the force field and use your ring. Alright, Nighty is as well equipped as he could possibly be here. Saving his game, and he's going for it. He's going to fight the final boss. So now that Nighty is at level cap, we'll see him dealing significantly more damage. Not only is he going to be dealing more damage because his offensive power has gone up, but as Rhythm Song pointed out, the boss is hard-coded to give you fewer hits per cycle at lower levels.
I am pure evil. My followers and I will...
Jackazam did not have a very, very bad first round against this boss. Almost got the boss to half health during the first round, but unfortunately, Jackazam's luck is over here. It's going to be taking some massive damage from these meteors. If you're able to dodge these meteors well, you can defeat this boss at relatively low levels. Yeah, unfortunately, that's the end of Jackazam, but that was a really well done fight there. go. Nighty's got the boss down past the halfway point. When he's run out of magic, he's starting to take damage from these meteors. There it is. Nighty has destroyed the Dark Pearl and has defeated the demons. And then the game punishes you by refilling your health here, but thankfully Nighty has already hit the dot done and is finished with an SRL time of 1 hour, 25 minutes, and 33 seconds. And his reward is we're going to get a very lengthy cutscene here of all of the heroes that we met through our adventures, telling us all about what great NPCs they are and why Falcom was so smart to design them all. Alright, looks like someone has figured out how to get through the barrier and is moving on to the cutscene heavy final room here. Fortunately, Jakazam not doing as well that fight. There we go. Looks like Jakazam listening to Exuno's advice and noshing on a Rhodanut to max out that magic. This isn't impossible. Jakazam could do this, and this would save quite a bit of grinding if Jakazam is able to defeat this boss at this level, but it's really going to be a difficult... It's going to be a difficult slog to do it. You're going to need to have some luck in the boss spawning in good spawn spots. You want to dodge these meteors because these meteors are going to drain your magic points. Burn through those shields. And we see someone here is doing the final dialogue dump before we move on to the battle with the final boss. Yeah, you see there, as soon as those shields are drained, Jakazam has taken massive damage from these meteors. I think East really likes these final bosses just surrounded by deadly meteors setups. I want to say the final boss of the 16-bit versions of East 3 also go with the boss just shoots meteors everywhere and you just cross your fingers that you dodge them. Some nice dodging here, but unfortunately just not enough for Jakazam. Puffer King going for a little bit slower grind strat here, just the sit in place, shoot fireballs strat, which is a little bit slower but a little bit easier. So he can just kick up his feet on his little gamer ottoman. He can grab a mug of his favorite beverage with his other hand, and he can kick on Discord, put on some music, and he can enjoy himself as he waits for those experience points to gather up so that he can hit that level cap. And we're going to see someone give it another shot. So we talked before, there's different level thresholds for this boss. At level 60, or at level 59, which is where someone is right now, is only going to be dealing half damage compared to what Nighty was doing. Actually less than that, because he'll only get 2 hits per cycle, and they'll be even weaker hits. So this is a poor position for someone to be in trying to fight this final boss. unlike Jackazam, I think that someone's level is just simply too low to even have a chance. And just a reminder for folks who are joining us now, this is our last segment of our blind segmented race of East 1 and 2 for the TurboGrafx 16. It's been a good 5 weeks since we started this, but as all good things must come to an end. However, we do have a little bit of a special treat for you folks, that after we complete this race today, we'll have another race to follow of Worm for the NES.
How can I thank you
So
for
hang
saving
out
me?
when this race is done,
Basement of
and
the
we will
shrine
jump right
was
into
such
that.
an eerie place. After that, I went to Jeva's house. I met a lot of people that I never knew before, and I learned a lot about the wonderful world of East. But the best thing that has happened to me is that I had a chance to meet you. For the first time in my life, I was able to speak with the heart of a girl. It is hard to feel human when your soul is of a goddess. Well, I must go. Lair is waiting for me. Adol, promise that you'll always remember the girl in me.
And once again, Adol breaks the heart of a beautiful woman in his adventures. Of course, this will be an easy recurring theme to the series, as is this rockin' closing cinematic music. And here's Puffer. Puffer's just a couple of experience points away from level cap. One more. There it is. Puffer is at absolute level cap. Look at all those 255s. We're making a trip back here to top off his magic points. So you can see here that someone is on slow speed and getting these slow meteors. So dodging these meteors is actually possible for someone. Meanwhile, Jackazam is still playing on fast speed, so the meteors are moving slowly, but it's still going to be very difficult to react and dodge them. Jackazam making the smart fight here, staying towards the bottom of the screen where you have the most time to dodge the meteors. and just sort of hoping that the boss spawns where you can get him. But it's way too tempting. The greed is just way too tempting here. Wonder if someone is looking for a better place to grind, but unfortunately there isn't going to be one. We're going to see Puffer take another stab at this final boss. I think he'll find it significantly easier than his first attempt. Getting to see all of these NPCs through his adventure making a reappearance. So you can see here, Puffer does not have the Goddess Ring equipped, so this boss is shooting way faster meteors than you're seeing even on Jakazam's screen, and Jakazam is on fast speed. So congratulations to Nighty for finishing today's race. I think Puffer King has sort of accepted his fate here. Of course, the first thing that Puffer's missing here is that his magic is really worthless with the fireball rod. He wants to be using his shield rod. There we go. He's putting on that magic of shield. That's going to give him a little bit of a benefit.
Fishing. I can do this. I can do it.
Alright, unfortunately it looks like someone's not using clean audio. We'll go ahead and pull on Puffer's audio. Yep, that's Nighty's preferred background. He's been using it for years, and he doesn't seem to have any intention to change it anytime soon. Alright, so someone has committed to the grind here. Jackazam, it looks like, is committed to gonna fight this final boss at this level. Puffer King given the time stop magic a shot here, but time stop does literally nothing here. And I think he's picked up on that, so he's just gonna go ahead and take a death here. Puffer's really committed to this full heal elixir being the item of choice for the final boss. But he really does want to put on that goddess ring. That goddess ring is what's going to make the difference. Oh, here we go. Puffer's going to try the Claria ring. Yeah, it's a shame that Jackazam is committed to this. I think spending this time grinding out another, at least one more level, would have made this easier. I did put in the pace spin that level 61 was recommended for the final boss, and I'm worried that rather than encouraging players to fight at that level, it may have had the opposite effect and encouraged them to defeat the boss at a lower level just to show me up. And regrettably, this final boss does have a lot of RNG to it as well. You really just need the boss to spawn at locations on the bottom of the screen like Jackazam just saw there. Because if the boss keeps spawning in the top of the screen, or worse yet, in that pit in the middle, there's nothing you can do about it. You can't hit the boss without taking damage. Yeah, Jackazam's getting really close here. That was a really good attempt right there. See, we see the difference here because Puffer doesn't have the ring equipped. He can't dodge these meteors. These meteors are just moving too fast. I'm getting some bad RNG. The boss keeps spawning up in the middle pit. Jackazam really wants the boss spawning down in the bottom where he can be hit. Puffer making another attempt here. Puffer may be picking up on the fact that the other players are having a much easier time dodging the boss projectiles, and he's trying desperately to figure out what he's doing differently. And I think his realization might be that he needs to equip that ring and nobody is even thinking about it. Because really through this game, for most of the game, you don't put a whole lot of thought into what you have on your inventory slot. Unless it's that the cape that restores your health. You can't damage trade with this boss. You have to avoid getting hit at all costs. Someone getting really close to level 60 here. Yeah, the meteorites burn through your magic points so quickly if you don't have the goddess ring equipped. Some nice dodges there by Jackazam. Oh, out! Took a meteor. Someone right here on the cusp of level 60. There we go, level 60. Of course, as soon as you hit level 60, all these enemies are worth half as much experience. Oh, it looks like someone is going to go straight to the core. Okay, here we go. Smart move. Head back to town and refill that magic. Oh, it's going to buy the life drop. This is kind of a mistake, really. Yeah, there's sort of, I think, a habit in this game that you don't even pay attention to your magic points. Oh, Jakazam getting really close here. Yeah, Puffer's magic points are not surviving at all. And so he's coming out behind because of that. That the extra duration of the magic points would be worth more than the life drop. Which is a shame, because usually the item that resurrects you completely is a pretty good thing to bring into the final boss. It's a little bit surprising. I would have expected them to throw in talking to one of the goddesses, capping off your magic points. Given that they have so many other NPCs that just arbitrarily refill all of your stats. The best strat would be, once you're out of magic points for Jakazam, is to just ignore the boss completely and just evade on the bottom of the screen, and just hope the boss accidentally wanders into you. So it looks like someone has picked up on the fact that the goddess ring is the ring of choice. But is still fighting the boss at level 60, so that's a pretty big handicap in damage and the number of times you can hit the boss per cycle. Yeah, you can see Puffer is doing visibly more damage to this boss. Alright, not too shabby so far for Puffer, but he's got to keep this up. Swordwinds1 with the Prime Gaming subscription. Thank you very much, Swordwinds1. Please enjoy your exciting Mystery Funhouse emotes. And of course, enjoy ad-free viewing on this channel. Oh, this is so close! Puffer! Oh my goodness, that was so close for Puffer. He was right there. He's nursing his wounds right now on the game over screen. Now, someone I think is going into this fight with very low magic points. We'll see again. He did not refill his magic points before he decided to go on his teleport spree. Alright, not too shabby for Puffer's round one. Yeah, someone is going into this fight with a meager 80 magic points. That's a pretty big handicap going in here. Oh, another super close fight for Puffer. He's right on the cusp of finishing this. This round for Jackazam is going pretty poorly. I don't think this one's going to do it. And that one for someone wasn't even close. This round's not going too good for Puffer. He didn't even get halfway through the boss's health on the first round. He may need another attempt at this. It's like someone's picked up on their low magic point being a hazard here. So they're going into this fight with full magic. This might go pretty well for them. Getting a couple of lucky spawns there for someone. If you can get the boss to keep spawning right next to you, you can deal a lot of damage in pretty short order. And this is the part where someone needs to start being more cautious. These meteors are doing health damage now instead of magic. Pretty gutsy there to run up to the boss in the corner. Alright, Puffer's getting aggressive here. Needs the boss to start spawning closer to him where he can get those extra hits. Alright, pretty good first round for Puffer. Ooh, someone's doing pretty good here. This is a pretty good fight for someone. This is a pretty good fight. So close. There it is. Someone gets the kill at level 60. Incredibly well done by someone. This is the part where he crosses his fingers and he prays desperately that there is no round 2. And there is the dot done from someone 325, finishing in second place with an SRL time of 2 hours, 2 minutes, and 24 seconds. Very well done by someone 325. Because I'm just hoping for these easy spawns from the boss. Really need this boss to just spawn next to you a bunch so you can get a lot of hits off during this first round. Puffer having a kind of a poor first round here. Yeah, this is not looking good for Puffer. Dealt very little damage to the boss during that first round. Jakazam being evasive here. This is the way you fight, and this when your shields are down, you've got to stay near the bottom and dodge meteors, because these meteors are doing way more damage to you than you're doing to the boss. A call back to those days of one-hit kills. Once again, Puffer King is in a good spot to finish this boss, but he has either he doesn't know or he doesn't believe that the goddess ring is going to be much help to him during this fight. He ground up a bunch of money in a previous goal so that he could buy the life drop, which restores all of your health when you die, and he is committed to using that. All right, that was a very good round 1 here for Puffer King. Puffer King dealing a significant amount of damage to this boss on the first round. He's used his life drop. He's on to round 2 here. He's dealing good damage. He's just got to keep it up. He's getting really good spawns here. He's getting great spawns. That's it. Puffer gets the kill. Puffer has also defeated the final boss. Puffer going for the no goddess ring kill. Ooh, Jakazam's having a good fight here. Needs to be careful. Needs to dodge these meteors. Lucky spawn there. Good spawns, but Jakazam's being worn down. This meteors hurt really bad. Jakazam just can't afford to get hit by any of them. Oh, this is looking really brutal. Oh, there it is. Jakazam taking the death. So this is the final battle. We've just got Jakazam left here. If Jakazam can defeat the final boss, that will be everybody, and that will be the end of Ys 1 and 2 for the TurboGrafx 16, which we've been playing as a segmented race over the last couple of weeks here on the Mystery Funhouse. This is a regular event we do. where we play through a number of games that are too long to do in a single segment of a blind race, but we break them up into segments so that players can enjoy them over a period of weeks. We've done a number of games. We've played through the Prince of Persia series. We've played through the Metroid Prime series. We've played Terranigma, Soul Blazer. We've played a number of other games. And after this one, we'll have some more coming up in the coming weeks. Although it'll probably be a couple of weeks before we start up another game. However, at the end of today's Ys race, we do have one more game coming to you. Once our players have finished up here, we're going to play another game. We're going to play Worm for the NES, which is sort of a hybrid of several genres. It's going to be shoot 'em up, it's going to be platformer, there's even going to be a little bit of first-person shooter and some RPG there. So definitely hang out at the end of today's broadcast and we'll have another race for you. We'll be doing that in a single segment. That's a fairly short game. It should take about an hour to an hour and a half for our players to finish that. And then, of course, we have many other exciting things going on in the Mystery Funhouse. If you were paying attention earlier this week, on Saturday, we had our weekly blind. We played Knuckles Chaotix for the Sega Genesis 32X. And also yesterday, we had Mystery, the high score competition that we do once a week, and we played Neo Mr. Do, the clown-based cousin to Dig Dug. And those are events that we do each week. Next Saturday at 2 p.m. Eastern, we're going to be doing another weekly blind. We're going to be playing one of my personal favorite games, Rocket Knight Adventures for the Sega Genesis. Rocket Knight Adventures being a very cinematic action game. Very enjoyable. I recommend everybody join, especially if you've never played that game. It is a feast for the eyes as well as a exciting action game. And then, of course, next Saturday at 7 p.m. EST, we'll have another edition of Mystery, in which Internet Dirigible will have us play yet another score-based game. So that will be an excitement. We don't know what it is. It's always a surprise. We only reveal what it is right before the game starts. So keep an eye out. We won't be doing a blind segmented race next week. We're going to go ahead and we're going to take a week or two off. However, our next game is going to be something for the N64. We'll either be playing Legend of the Mystical Ninja 64, which is a platformer adventure game very similar to Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. Or we might be playing Rocket Robot on Wheels, which is a collectathon in the vein of Super Mario 64, with a heavy emphasis on playing around, toys. So definitely keep an eye out for that. Jackazam doing pretty well here, but once again, the meteors are doing way more damage to you than you're doing to the boss. Jackazam getting a little bit greedy there, but I think it was alright. Really just cannot take these meteors. You've got to hit the boss. You've got to focus on dodging. Dodging is infinitely more important than getting hits. There's another death there for Jackazam.
don't know what to say. How can I thank you for saving me? The basement of the shrine was such an eerie place. After that, I went to Jeva's house. I met a lot of people that I never knew before, and I learned a lot about the wonderful world of Ys. But the best thing that has happened to me is that I had a chance to meet you. For the first time in my life, I was able to speak with the heart of a girl. It is hard to feel human when your soul is of a goddess. Well, I must go. Lair is waiting for me. Adol, promise that you'll always remember the girl in me.
Get to hear that sweet ending theme yet again here on Puffer Stream. Mighty Metric Batman says Adol only understands running at enemies and stabbing them. I'm going to disagree. Adol also is very good at finding missing Picards. That's another very important skill that he has generated over his decades of adventuring. Grabbing a couple of lost guinea pigs and shoving them into their pen in exchange for a reward. Attempt is not looking too good for Jackazam. Needs to keep dodging and it's taken way too many hits from these meteors. Especially these double hits. You don't have any iframes, so if more than one meteor comes at you, you're going to eat every frame that you're in those hitboxes. Jackazam just getting a bunch of terrible spawns here for the boss. The boss deciding to just hang out in the corners of the screen. Cyro Hydra asking, does Jackazam have the Goddess Ring? Yes, Jackazam is equipped with the Goddess Ring. If Jackazam was not, those meteors would be moving way faster. Yeah, unfortunately we don't have Puffer fighting the final boss anymore. For comparison, Puffer did defeat the final boss without equipping the Goddess Ring, and it was a significant disadvantage to him. The auto-res was also in the Goddess Ring? No. So, when fighting the final boss, number one, you need the Claria equipment. If you don't have the full set of Claria equipment, you're not even going to deal damage to the boss. And then the other item you have is the Goddess Ring, which you received just shortly before this boss. If you have the Goddess Ring equipped, the meteors move significantly slower, and they do significantly less damage. So we could see there, we saw on Puffer's stream that his magic of shield was worn out almost instantly in the fight, compared to Jackazam, compared to Jakazam being able to hold on to that shield spell for quite a ways into this battle. Yeah, this game is really cruel. It gives you that magical life drop that you can buy for a tremendous amount of money, and then there's really no scenario where you want to have it equipped. If you're fighting bosses and they're hard enough that you need the life drop, you're probably too low level. As we saw from Puffer, doing that grinding early on really helped out a tremendous amount, because you get those great big chunks of experience points for defeating bosses. So if you're already leveled up quite a bit, those bosses will help you get up to level cap really efficiently. And then the last part of this boss is really just a lot of luck. If you get the boss to spawn right next to you a whole bunch like this, you can get a lot of hits in very short order. And if the boss decides to be a jerk and keep spawning on the edges of the screen, you're just going to waste a lot of time getting meteorited without dealing any damage. There, like Jakazam getting robbed twice there by the boss. You want to get those full 3 hits each time he spawns. As we had some of our East experts in the chat commenting, the boss is hard-coded in an unusual way, that the number of hits that you can get on the boss varies based off of your level of experience. That at level 59, you can only hit the boss twice on each one of their cycles. That's a little bit loud. You can only get 2 hits against the boss on each of their cycles at level 59. At level 60 and 61, you can hit the boss 3 times in each cycle. And then at level 62, and only at level 62, which is the level cap, you can deal 4 hits to the boss on each cycle. On top of the increased damage you get for leveling up, since those last few levels do give you boosts to your attack power. This is going pretty well. But oh no, I ruined it. That was a pretty good fight there for Jakazam. We already saw earlier today that that you can do pretty well if you are at level 60. It is possible to beat the game at level 60. We saw someone 325 doing it just earlier. And Jakazam's had a couple of pretty close calls there. Alright, everybody in chat needs to be pooling your energy together. We need Jakazam to finish this up. As soon as we finish this up, we've got yet another exciting race coming right at you. As we're going to be playing through Worm for the NES. So the real question is, what does it really mean to have experience points? I mean, we say that Adol has 90,000 experience points, but what does that really mean? Because in Puffer's case, it basically meant that he killed 90,000 monsters. But if those monsters are kind of weak, did he learn something? Is it just exercising? Was it like lifting weights that he just swung his sword 10,000 times and he got stronger? Is it his? I mean, do you really learn something from standing still and just firing fireballs straight ahead of you? It's a mystery that not a lot of games take the time to explain. Jack is getting a couple of good spawns here at the beginning. Where's that music coming from? Oh, looks like Puffer King decided to go for another attempt at the final boss to see how much different it is when you equip the ring of making the final boss possible. Nice dodges here by Jackazam. Basically, while you're fighting this, you want your eyes glued to the top of the screen. You want to be watching for those meteors coming on down. There was some temptation there, but Jackazam resisted it. Saying anything. Oh. There it is! There is the final blow. Jackazam getting the kill. Incredibly well done. Two of our players defeating the boss below the recommended level. And there is the final dot done. Jackazam clocking in with a race time of 2 hours, 26 minutes, 16 seconds. Incredibly well done to all of our players. So we're going to give Jackazam a little bit of time there to go ahead and watch the ending credits. Why are you doing this to me? incredibly well done by all of our players. They finished the game. That final boss is significantly more difficult than the boss of the previous skull. I'm certain you noticed. Mostly because this originally was two different games mashed together. And in the original version, of course, the final boss had to be faced at max level. But in this game, you have the option of grinding past max level. But that's incredibly well done. Jakazam demonstrating some incredible skills there, defeating the boss considerably below the level cap. Probably get this fixed.